Good morning, everyone. Today's topic of discussion is SQL commands. So, in SQL, we have five different types of commands: DDL commands, DML commands, DCL commands, TCL commands, and DQL commands. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and DDL commands are the very basic commands that are used in DBMS. So data definition language commands includes those commands that deals with the modification of the structure of the table. We can, in technical terms, we can say that deals with that are used to define the database schema. For example, suppose I am having a table containing two columns, let us say roll number and name. I want to add one more column, that is semester, in that table. So now the structure of the table would be changed. Earlier it was having two columns. Now after adding the third column, the structure would be changed. Similarly, if I am having five different columns in a table and I want to delete two columns from that table, then again the structure of the table would be changed. Another example we can take it as, like, suppose I am having a column name, let us say roll number. Now I want to change it from roll number to ID. So what I am doing here, I am changing the name of the column. I am changing the name of the attribute here. So again, what I am doing here is I am modifying the structure of the table. So the formal definition of data definition language would be, these are the commands that deals with the description of the database schema, plus that are used to create and modify the structure of the database objects in the database. As an example, consider here student is the name of the table. That table contains three different columns: roll number, name, and course. So this is known as the structure of the table. See here, I have not entered any value yet, but I have created the structure, that this would be the structure. These are the three columns, and further these three columns will contain different kinds of records. So this is known as the schema, the structure, and how let us see how we can modify it. So we can have different types of DDL commands: create command, alter command, drop command, truncate command, rename, and comment command. So let's discuss these commands one by one in detail. The first command is create command. As the name indicates, create command is used to create the database or its objects. In simple terms, we can say, if we want to create a table, if we want to form a table in the database, then we will make use of create command. Now let us see what is the syntax for it. Syntax means the way we write it, the way we use this command. So the syntax is very simple for create command. We just simply need to write create table, then table name, round bracket start, then we need to specify the attribute 1 along with its data type, comma, attribute 2 along with its data type, and so on. Depends upon the number of columns you want to take. You can specify here the number of columns, and then along with the data type, then round bracket close, and then you need to put here semicolon. Now create is the command, table is the keyword that we need to write, and the table name is the name of the table, name of the relation that you want to give. It can be any name that you can give to your table name. What is this attribute 1? Attribute 1 stands for the column name. Like in the previous example, let us say if we want to create this table, so what we will write, this roll number is the attribute 1, name is the attribute 2, course is the attribute 3. Consider this example. Suppose I want to create this table. This table contains three different columns: roll number, student name, and subject. So let us see how we will write it. Create, then table, then students is the name of the table, round bracket start, then we need to specify column name 1, that is roll number. The data type I am taking here varchar 2, and in this round bracket I am specifying the size of this table, size of this attribute. Like if the size is 3, it means that this roll number can contain 3 different digits or 3 different characters. Then comes student name. Again, I am taking the data type here varchar2 along with the size 20. Then at column number 3, that is subject, and then along with its data type. I am taking here varchar2. Depending upon the requirement, you can take it as varchar, you can take it as char, you can take it as int, any kind of data type you can write here. And then again, you need to put this round bracket and then semicolon. When we will run this command on the interface, then the output would be table created. Now, suppose if I want to see whether the table is actually created or not, then there is one more command that you can type, like describe students. Either you can write DESC or you can write it completely describe, DESCRIBE, and then followed by the name of the table. So when we will run this command, the output would be like this. It will show how many columns are there in the table and what are the data types these attributes are taking. Like we have mentioned here that we have 3 columns: roll number, student name, subject, and the data type for all these 3 we have taken at varchar2. So it is showing that these are the columns and these are the data types we have taken for this. So in this way, we can create a table. So moving on the next command, that is alter command. So alter command is basically used to alter the structure of the database. Alter the structure of the database means we are now adding the columns or deleting the columns, we are changing the name of the columns and so on. So alter command can be used in different ways. So we can add columns, modify columns, rename a column, or drop a column using alter commands. Let us create a table to understand the use of alter command. So again, the syntax would be same. The create command is create table, and then name of the table here is students TB. Here roll number and student name are the 2 columns that I am taking here. So this structure would be created after using this create command. Now suppose I want to add 2 more columns in roll number and student name in the table students TB. So what alter command will do, we can write alter table, then name of the table is student TB. Then we need to write this add. Add is here the keyword that is used to add the columns in the existing structure. So add, and then in round brackets, we need to specify the columns along with the data type that we want to add. So age and course are the 2 columns that we want to add along with the data type. Age data type is number and the course data type would be varchar. So if we will run this command, the output would be table altered. Again, it will not show the table. It will not show the structure of the table. If you want to see the structure of the table, again, we need to write describe command after this command. Then only you will be able to see that this particular, whether these particular columns are added to the existing structure or not. So moving forward, next kind of alter command is, next use of alter command is changing the existing data type. Suppose I have taken the data type of roll number as int. Now I want to change it into number. So what would be the syntax? I need to simply write alter table, then table name. Now here we will make use of the keyword that is modify, because now we are going to modify the existing data type. Modify roll number, and then roll number's new data type would be number. So in this way, we can create the existing data type. As an example, I have taken here, suppose course. Earlier, the data type of course was varchar2 and the size was 20. Now I want to increase the size. I want to change it from 20 to 40. So how we will make use of it? We can write alter table, table name, then modify. Name of the attribute is course. Now here we can specify the new data type. Whatever you want to take here, you can write here. Now my requirement was I was to change it from 20 to 40. So I'm writing here varchar 2 and then the size of the data type would be now 40. So output would be table altered. The next use of alter command is renaming an attribute. How we can rename the existing column. So let us see. I am having a column name, suppose student name like here. Now I want to change it from student name to name student. So how we will write it using alter command? Like we can write alter table, table name. Then we will use the keyword here, rename column. Rename space column, then name of the column, that is old name. Then we will make use of this to statement to, and then new name that we want to give to our attribute. So again, this will change the existing attribute name to this new name that we want to give. So this was all about the alter command, how we can use it in different ways. So moving further, we have a third kind of command, that is drop command. Drop command is very simple to use, and the purpose of using drop command is to delete the objects from the database. You have created a database, now you no longer needed it for further use in future. So you just, to free up the space, you just want to delete that database from your memory. So how you can write, you can make use of drop command for that. Simply you need to write drop, then table keyword, followed by the name of the table that you want to drop, that you want to delete from your database. So drop table, and table name is the syntax for using the drop command. The fourth category of DDL command is truncate command. Truncate command is basically used to remove all the records from a table, including all the spaces that are allocated for the records that are also removed from the truncate command. And the syntax for using truncate command is again very simple, that we simply need to write truncate, then table, followed by the table name. So this command will remove all the records from a table. Now here one question arises, that what is the difference between drop and truncate command? See, truncate command will delete, suppose we have a table and that table contains 10 different records. Suppose, let us say we have a table student and that student contains the record of 10 different students. If I write truncate table student, then what this command will do, it will remove all the records of the students, 10 records of the students from that table, but the structure of the table will remain there. But if instead of using truncate command, I will write drop table student, then it will delete the entire structure from the database. So we will no longer be able to access that new table that was created earlier. So this is the main difference between truncate command. Again, truncate command, if we make use of truncate command, then all the records of a table will be deleted all at once. While using drop command, the structure of the table would be deleted from the database. The next category of DDL command is rename command. As the name indicates, rename command is used to rename the existing table, or it is used to rename the existing columns. Like earlier we have discussed in alter command, like if I want to rename a column name from roll number to ID, then we can make use of rename command along with this alter command. So this was the syntax that we have already discussed, like alter table student name, then rename column is the keyword that we need to write, then we need to specify the old name, then we need to specify this to, and then here we will specify the new name that we want to give to our column. The second use of rename command is, suppose I have created a table student. Now I want to rename that table name from student. I want to convert it into student one. So rename command is again used for this purpose as well. So the syntax for this is how we can write it: rename, then student two, and then student one. So in this way, we can change the name of the table from old name to new name. Or you can use it along with the alter command, like alter, then table, old name of the table, rename to new name. So these two are the different ways of using rename command to renaming the existing table to some new name. Next comes the comments. Comments are basically used for, these are not actually the kind of commands, but this is used for the documentation purpose. Now, what is the need of documentation? Suppose I am the new user for DBMS queries or SQL queries, and I don't know what is the purpose of this particular command. So to make the other people understand, what we can do is we can write a particular statement about that command, so that if one is unknown to that command, so by just reading it at a glance, the user will come to know what is the purpose of that command or what that particular command is doing. Like if I say alter table student name, rename column name to student name, somehow if the person belongs to technical background, the person may get to know that this command is renaming something. But if I write like this query is used to rename the column, then the understanding would be more that this command, okay, fine, this command is used to performing this particular task. So for this purpose, for this kind of task, we make use of comments. So how we can make use of comments here? Comments are basically non-executable statements. When we run these SQL commands, so comments never run in the background. They are just used for the documentation purpose. So how we can use it? Suppose if I want to explain about this alter command, so before using alter command, I can use slash star and I can write this statement here. Whatever description I want to give, we can write here, like this query is used to rename the column, followed by star and then slash. So in this way, we can read the readability of our commands. So this was all about the different kinds of DDL commands. Now let's have a practice question for these commands. Suppose a question is given that we need to execute the following queries using DDL commands. So here the question is given that we need to add an attribute named designation to the table employee, then modify the table employee, change the data type of salary attribute to float, and finally drop the attribute department name from the table employee. So to solve this question, firstly, we need to analyze what is the name of the table, then how many attributes we need to create in that particular table. So by reading this question, it is clear that the name of the table is EMP, that stands for employee. And here some columns are mentioned, that designation, then salary, then department name. These are the basic requirements that we need to create, we need to enter in our table. So other than these three columns, we can add more columns depending upon the requirement, but these are the three basic commands. So to solve this question, the very first step would be create a table. So let us see how we can create a table. So with the help of create command, again, I am writing here create table EMP. See, EMP is the name of the table. I am taking here the EID for employee ID, then employee name, then salary, and then department name. So these four attributes I have taken along with their data type, like int, varchar. For salary, I have taken int, and for department name, I have taken varchar. So with this create command, we have created a table EMP having four different columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, and department name. Moving towards the first part of the question, that was add an attribute named designation to the table. Now, We have already 4 columns here. Now we want to add 5th column, that is designation. So the syntax would be alter, table, employee, add. Add is the keyword. And then what is the name of the new column? That is designation along with its data type. So this command will automatically add a column designation to the existing structure. The second task was rather modify the table employee. We need to modify the table. What we are modifying it? We need to change the data type of salary attribute to float. So earlier in salary, we have taken salary int. Now we want to make it float. So how we can use it? Alter table. Name of the table is employee. Then here, if we want to modify the existing data type, so we make use of modify keyword here, modify. Then name of the attribute is salary, followed by new data type, that is float. So this command will automatically change the data type of the salary from int to float. The next part of the question was that drop the attribute department name from the table employee. Here, what this drop command is doing, this drop command is deleting a column, that is department name, from the table employee. So again, this drop command will be used in conjunction with alter command. So we will write alter table, then name of the table is employee, then drop, and then column. Column is the keyword that we need to specify, and then department name. So in this way, we can delete the particular column from the table. So that's all for today's session. Thank you, everyone.